Rock the Vote NZ. We've got Daymond here queued up for a 10-minute submission.
So my name is Daymond Goulder-Horobin. I'm the deputy leader of Rock the Vote NZ Party. I've been chosen to speak on behalf of the party as I have a background in economics and finance and I have some experience in the fintech industry. We're here to speak in full support of this bill. So Rock the Vote NZ considers the right to a bank account as a human right, and this is because of just how important banking is in today's world. You need a bank account to receive a paycheck. You need a bank account to receive a benefit from wins. Even some places no longer take cash and require the use of a bank account to basically buy things. It is just simply a necessity for living in today's world. People should only be debanked if it's proven they've broken the law. So obviously, if someone has done something they shouldn't have done, they should be debanked because you must be lawful, surely. But there are certain things banks could do. They could create like a new tier of banking for people that have been identified as high risk, just so that these people can get paid and just so they can buy certain like necessities with a bank account. Rock the Vote further acknowledges the differences between transactional banking and credit banking. I know we did read some of the other submissions that some of the banks did, and they were concerned that with this bill, it would mean that they had to provide credit services. Our submission, we're kind of just focused on transactional banking. We consider this to be different from credit banking. And really, with transactional banking, people should not be declined a bank account based on, just any of the Human Rights Act clauses. Everyone should have a right to a bank account, regardless of political association, regardless of their views on things. We just simply do not believe that bank accounts should not be a battleground for ideology. Some banks further claim that debanking just doesn't happen in New Zealand. This actually isn't true. There is one particular industry, cryptocurrency. So what happens is that people who operate with cryptocurrency, many people get their transactions blocked. Many people with companies that want to do some blockchain innovation, they're very, very careful about how they present themselves because they don't want to be seen associated with cryptocurrency. And we note that in this bill, there's a clause that's specific for industry, which is that they can't treat a consumer less favorably based on the industry within they operate. And we hope to see this applied to people that operate with cryptocurrency and blockchain. We've seen many complaints online. There's the cryptocurrency Facebook group, which has a lot of members in it. They complain that they can't get a bank account for their company. Even Easy Crypto, that's one of the big ones in New Zealand. They say that they can only get one with KiwiBank, that all the other banks decline them because of high risk. The thing about many of the centralized exchanges is that they actually have very, very strong KYC. They have very. I was helping a friend out with Binance the other day, and when we're doing like withdrawals, they've got to verify their identity. They've got to, some cases, facial recognition. So they do have very strong KYC. And Easy Crypto, they've got a board full of experienced people with prior and current governance experience, and they struggle. So if those guys struggle, imagine how the smaller businesses struggle. And I don't want to be like that, but it has created a chilling effect. Maybe the banks did this on purpose, but I don't want to kind of say that. And really, what's this caused is that our blockchain innovation and cryptocurrency innovation has kind of fallen behind in New Zealand compared to other countries. We're also pleased to see that a bank can only withdraw services by a valid and verifiable commercial reason. Too often, a financial institution will refuse to provide services and cite high risk as the concern. And usually, in a lot of cases, high risk is kind of a catch-all reason. and a lot of the time it won't be disclosed to the user. There's banks that do this. There's other financial institutions that aren't banks that do this. PayPal is a massive example of this. PayPal does this all the time. And we'd like to see that. Well, yeah, we'd like to see this actually be working, and we'd like to see that banks and these places don't simply find a workaround for this, and want to make sure that that it's enforced properly. And really, our key takeaway is quite simple: that the battlefield of ideology and politics should not obstruct our daily lives. If banks become politically involved, like they have been with some of the coal mining and coal places, then unfortunately they should be prepared for political consequence. And private companies should really just focus on making money with a hint of corporate social responsibility. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daymond. We've got time for questions. If anyone wanted to pose one, I'm looking at the sponsor. Did you want to respond, Andy? Because we have got time.
Yeah, thank you. I will, if I can. Look, thank you very much for the submission. I'd be the only one that you've raised in terms of industries that you're aware of is the cryptocurrency industry. Are there any others that you've come across?
There's some political candidates have been targeted.
In New Zealand?
Yeah, there's been political people in New Zealand that have been debanked. I can't remember his name. There's people overseas that have been debanked. There's the thing with Nigel Farage, who was debanked in the UK.
Yeah, I'm aware of
So
that
there is a
one.
precedent
Yeah,
overseas for that.
yeah. Okay.
And obviously this
Thank you.
bill would prevent it. It's more like preventative here, which is great.
Thank you. And the other question is that you said that the right to a bank account, as separate to a loan arrangement, credit arrangements, is a human right. Are there any circumstances where you could see that that is not appropriate? I mean, we've had the case of Gloria Vale, which actually went to the Court of Appeal, which was effectively had its banking services withdrawn by one bank, and then I suspect none of the others wanted to touch it either. But so is everybody, in your view, entitled to have the ability to be able to have a financial transaction service?
Yes. Because transactional banking, this is different from credit banking. Credit is like loans, and the thing is the banks have to that is where the banks run all their big models and saying, okay, well, we can loan them this amount of money, and expect to be paid back, and so forth. Whereas transactional banking, really all it is just getting paid from work or business, and then being able to spend that money on food and just supplies and necessities. I really don't see a situation where someone wouldn't be entitled to that. Unless you want to go down the route where if someone has committed a crime, someone has committed fraud, then you would either have a separate banking tier just for that, which is heavily monitored, or you could use something similar to what Wins does with their payment cards.
Yeah, no, I understand the kind of thing. Look, if I can, Mr. Chair, just one other question, which is just in terms of transparency. If somebody is an organisation, business, whatever, is either debanked, existing service withdrawn in this, now I'm talking the loan credit area, or denied, do you think it's reasonable that banks should at least have to tell them why they've been denied, in terms of, because we've had a lot of this discussion about sunset industries in inverted commas, that banks should at least be able to put on the table, we believe this is a sunset industry, therefore we don't believe that we'll be able to get our money back in time.
It must be transparent.
Okay, thank you.
I suppose my thing in the submission was that with some places like PayPal and banking, a lot of the time they don't actually tell you the reason why you're debanked or like I'm taken off. They'll just say you're too high risk, sorry. And that's a big complaint people have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We're at time. David, you've taken your hand down? That's all right. We're at time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daymond, for taking us through that and for your submission from Rock the Vote. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one.